What is up, fellow bench warmers? Welcome to your daily fantasy quickie. Hey guys, Judgment Day, week 16. Week 16 is done and over. Hopefully, you guys were able to win your matchups, and we are headed into week 17 and lots of news as we head into week 17 and the trade deadline. Of course, I'm your host, JJT, with Komish Eric. Another trade alert. Trade alert today, early morning here in Manila. Caris Levert got traded. So I guess the Indiana fire sale has begun. Caris Levert is the first one to go. He goes to Cleveland. Well, for Ricky Rubio and some picks.
Well, if they've been reading or listening to us, they won't be surprised. Yeah, we actually just posted about Caris Levert going to Cleveland yesterday. A special post. I posted it and I said it today was supposed to be his audition for Cleveland. And apparently they didn't need the audition. They just wanted him there.
Well,
I guess
if Cleveland will just give away Ricky Rubio, who won't be playing anymore, plus some picks that they'll probably get a very low picks, right?
But actually,
and Cleveland is all in. Looks like Cleveland is all in this season.
Actually, a lot of people are not that didn't grade Cleveland with a high grade with this trade because they gave up actually the first round pick, which will be 20 something, and a second round pick, which is a high second round pick because it's the Houston Rockets second round pick. So it's like a first rounder also. So it's like they gave up 2 first rounders for Levert, who a lot of people are not sure really fits Cleveland. Maybe he fits, but they're not sure he does something and make them contenders or anything. And he's owed almost $35 million for the next 2 years. So that's a pretty good haul for Indiana. Actually, Indiana got a pretty good deal back because they get salary cap space. Rubio is expiring, and then those 2 picks is very valuable.
Yeah, but again, like I said, Cleveland doesn't look. They're not looking into rebuilding mode. I think they're at a point where they feel like they've rebuilt already with Garland and Mobley and Jarrett Allen. Those 3 players, they form the core. Unfortunately for them, the supporting pieces around these 3 players got injured. Markkanen, Colin Sexton, Ricky Rubio, right? Everything around them. So now they get another support in Levert, who might, I can see, him playing some point as well from time to time, right? Point forward. He is a player who can facilitate and they're going to be a tall team. They're going to be a really tall team.
That's why it fits them. Actually, I'm not sure they would. Indiana would have gotten this kind of a haul back for Levert if it was another team. For Cleveland, he fits the most in Cleveland. Actually, Levert. Fantasy wise, though, not good for Osman. Not good for Brandon Goodwin. For Okoro, definitely not good for Okoro. Dean Wade, these guys. Well, Markkanen when he comes back also gets a hit. Also, will also be hit because Levert is 6'7", as you said, he's kind of tall. He can play small forward. They can play, Okoro and Levert together at the wing. So that hurts Markkanen a bit also.
Yeah. And but fantasy wise for Levert, what do you think? Takes a hit or just the same?
Fantasy wise, I think it's the same. In Indiana before he was not the same from now because now with Indiana missing Sabonis and Miles Turner and everything, he's been doing much better. But the same from before when Indiana was healthy, I think that would be what you expect from Levert. So a little bit, inconsistent.
Yeah.
Because like before, sometimes he has good games and then he has bad games, something like that.
From the Indiana side, obviously, there's no one. They don't get anyone in return. With Rubio out for the season, who gets a boost then? Although I know there's nothing's final in Indiana. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm pretty
it's
sure
hard.
there would be lots of moves yet, but maybe in the next few days, in case you want to stream players, who gets some
Well,
boost here.
I know Jeremy loves Justin Holiday. He woke up early today just to roster Justin Holiday. So I can. I won't say Justin Holiday because it's kind of boring. And who cares if Justin Holiday gets a boost? But obviously Duarte, right? I mean,
Yeah.
Duarte will be the starting shooting guard.
And this is
I'm
the
looking at
reason
Malcolm
why.
Brogdon.
And this is the reason why we have told everyone early in the season to just hold on, or at least a few weeks ago,
Yeah.
just hold on to Duarte, just because of something like this could happen. And you were saying about Brogdon.
Well, Brogdon is questionable already, so I guess he's trending towards returning maybe next week or maybe this week, or at the very very least or very worst scenario is just after All-Star break maybe. So he's coming back and he can't be traded. So I think they're gonna play him because if they trade Sabonis, they trade Miles Turner. So what if they play Malcolm Brogdon? They'll lose anyway. So I mean, it's okay. They don't have, as far as I know, they don't have a point guard prospect that they're developing.
Who's the replacement point guard that they played?
Dwayne Washington,
No.
Sykes.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are two-way players. I don't think the development of those players are important. I think this season will be about Chris Duarte for sure. And then whoever they get back from, of course, Isaiah Jackson, hopefully when he returns. Goga returned also today. So let's see how this shapes up, because Sabonis has to be traded, Miles has to be traded. If not, our Isaiah Jackson will be gone.
Will be a drop. Obviously a drop.
Will be a drop.
I mean, if you are stashing Isaiah Jackson at this point and you lost your matchup this week, that could be the reason why you're stashing Isaiah Jackson, and especially if you have a full IL already. So yeah. More speaking of Sabonis, some rumors around Sabonis. Any teams that are eyeing him?
The team that came out today was Washington. They're already supposedly offered something. They're waiting from Indiana. I don't believe they have what it takes to get Sabonis, but of course it's good to dream, right? I think Washington also wants to go all in this season. So we have heard about a lot of teams with Sabonis. We have heard about Dallas with Sabonis. We have heard a lot of teams, but all the teams have heard not good for his fantasy value. But for Washington, if he goes to Washington, yeah, that would be good for him. I don't know
he
how
goes there. Probably one of the centers goes to the other side.
Probably Gafford, right? I mean, I think
Washington is not really the place fantasy managers want him to be, for the reason that if you're stashing Isaiah Jackson, I'm pretty sure there would be a center that's coming back to Indiana.
Yes.
Whether it's Thomas Bryant, whether it's Harrell, whether it's Gafford. All three centers, when they go back to Indiana, they'll get a slight boost, but that also means that they're gonna still lose, right? So
yeah,
Indiana
for sure. The stash meter for Isaiah Jackson is going a little bit down. I mean, not as good as previously, because Goga came back early, and then
the injury. I think the injury was one of the big factors here.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you were gonna ask us if you're gonna hold on to Isaiah Jackson after we said that the stash meter has been not too good, not looking too good, well, depends on where you are. If you have the luxury, again, it's 4 or 5 days left.
3 days. 3 days left.
3 days left. So I mean, maybe tank this week.
Maybe
Right.
next time when we have an episode, we'll have a countdown clock beside Jeremy here. So
Yeah.
you'll see. But it's just 3 days. 3 days. You can wait it out. You can wait it out.
Yeah. And then speaking of Gafford got into COVID protocol. So
Yeah.
more bad news for Gafford. I mean,
No,
yes,
good news.
Well, good news because he's gonna be dropped.
No, good news because you can put him in your IL. You don't have to withstand, right? I mean, instead of rostering him and getting nothing, at least you get an extra roster spot. So that's actually good news for me. I love it. If I own Gafford, this is perfect because by the time he comes out, he's on a different team. You have a good center all of a sudden, right? Yeah, that's good news.
And I wouldn't be surprised if he will be dropped this week before the trade.
Well, I hope not, but
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, he's in COVID and he's out. I mean, if you are that team stashing Gafford and then you have a lots of injuries as well. I have teams wherein I have a lot of players out, game time decision, questionable. So it's not gonna be easy if you're fighting for a playoff spot. So I wouldn't be surprised if he gets dropped. Other rumors. Schroeder, McCollum. What have you heard, Kumish?
A lot of people have been asking about Schroeder, and I think the two teams came out that Milwaukee and Chicago are the teams that are high on his. I mean, are high on him or want to get him. I hope he goes to Chicago for those who are stashing him because I got 3 or 4 questions about him already today. I think if he's available in your wires, you can add him 1 or 2 days before the deadline because I'm not really that high on his on him going forward. But if he goes to Chicago, we know how Chicago is so undermanned right now.
Yeah,
Kobe White might be out for a while. He's out with a strain in his groin or whatever. And
Levine has having some injuries here and there.
He can get value in Chicago. I don't know if he beats out Ayo or he can play with Ayo, but he will have more chances there than Boston. That's what I see.
Yeah,
but sure. Milwaukee, nah. If he goes to Milwaukee, that's the end of him. He'll probably use
Milwaukee's
like a
deep
there.
team. So yeah, they're probably not gonna use him as much. McCollum, probably the bigger name.
New Orleans has been very, very aggressive. New Orleans is number 10 right now. They have climbed past Portland from 1-12 start. They're now 10th and they're now in the play-in, and they're even more aggressive. They want CJ McCollum. There's a rumor about Josh Hart being moved. So they're looking for guard help. That's what I see because the players that have been connected to them are all guards. CJ McCollum, Kevin Huerter. These are the guys that have been connected to them. So they look like they're gonna go for guards.
All right. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see. 3 days, like Komish said. Some more updates, I guess. Larry Nance. You have to. I don't think there's any sense stashing Nance at this point. He suffered a setback in his recovery, so there's no timetable given. The last time I read, yeah.
Well, we got a question here from our Facebook, whether to stash Claxton or Nance in a 14-team 9-cat league, and I guess my answer there is what Jeremy just said. There's no timetable for Nance. I don't sense that Portland cares whether he comes back or not. Yeah. Given they got Winslow, they got Keon Johnson, they got those Ellaby, Watford, and all those players. Yeah, I'll probably go with Claxton there. Probably go with Claxton instead of Nance because of this news.
Yeah, and other news, the Sengun started today. I'm pretty sure lots of Sengun.
Well, I think I have a question for you. What do you think about that? Are you regretting trading Sengun?
No. Well, it's hard. I think that's not the right question for me. That's not the question. The question is not right for me because I am dead last in that league. So it really didn't matter. I just needed some warm bodies just to keep myself more competitive. whether it's right or wrong, it's not gonna matter anyway because I'm way out.
But
But
my
I'm
question
sure
is,
Pat is quite happy with what he got.
but my question is, do you think this is it? I mean, is this the start? Do you sense it, or do you think not yet?
Uh, Not yet. I still think that we still have to wait for the trade deadline to see what happens. I mean, if Christian Wood doesn't get traded, I think Sengun owners will still have to wait a bit more.
Okay.
I don't think the role will change as much. So the key really for Sengun for me is that Wood gets traded.
Okay. But what do you
Maybe
think
they'll
about
start. Maybe they'll start him from time to time, but I don't. I would be surprised if they're gonna start him every game.
That's why, well, he started today with Christian Wood. That was what made it interesting. Not that fact that he started. Yeah. He started with Christian Wood, and he didn't play that well. So I feel like I agree with you. Wood has to be traded. I just sense that two bigs, Wood and Sengun. Yeah, it's gonna be better for It's gonna be better Sengun because he's gonna get more minutes starting. But it's not the Sengun that everybody's waiting for. I think if you want the Sengun that the hype Sengun, he has to be the center. He has to be the center there for Houston. So when Christian Wood has to go, for him to be ND.
So just wait a few more days. A few more days to find out if the Sengun hype would be real. And finally, among the news, the debut of the recently traded Norm Powell and Robert Covington. Both came off the bench.
Yeah.
Now this is gonna be interesting. I was very interested to see what happened. So I watched a big part of the game. I think a couple of quarters. I think the second half, some of the second quarter until the end of the game. Coffee started. Kennard came off the bench. But again, this is just more, I think, this is more like they're just gonna ease them in. I wouldn't be surprised if Powell starts the next game already because he played well today.
And he's their best player. I mean, hard to say. I mean, it's crazy to say that after one game, but you can see it. He's their best scorer, right?
And he's most very aggressive.
Consistent. Yeah. So he should be starting. And Covington was really good defensively today. So he should be starting also. I don't know how it will work out. They have 12, 13 players that can all play and are all part of the rotation. But one thing for sure, Powell doesn't get a hit. Covington might get a hit because even if he starts, I think he has to share a lot of minutes with the other guys. But I am sensing guys like Zubac and Ibaka get less minutes to give Covington some minutes at the 5. I think that might work. So, and I think they have to stop giving Hartenstein minutes, and maybe Batum gets less and less minutes. Brandon Boston, these guys might just fall out of the rotation. Amir Coffee, I agree that you dropped him. I think that's the right move, but I think he still will get some minutes because he can play point, he can play a lot of positions.
Among all those guys, he's the most versatile, I guess. So so and it seems like the Clippers like those types of guys. He's kind of similar to Powell in a way, right? He's a combination of those guys, Powell, Man, Kennard. Like he can shoot threes, he can do what Kennard does, rebound, facilitate. So he's like the all-around guy. Maybe some streaming value here and there, but once Powell starts, it's gonna be hard to own these players: Kennard, Coffee, Man, Batum. I don't think you can get them, but maybe as streamers at this point. Whoever's hot, they're gonna go with that player.
Kennard is a backup point guard, so might have better steady role, but not as high as before with him anymore because of these.
See, that's how that's how a trade can change the outlook of your team, fantasy team, right? Everyone who got Amir Coffee would probably be very happy last for probably 2 weeks, right?
Yeah.
He got a gem, right? If no trade happens, the guy can be a big help to my to fantasy teams. Now a trade happens and boom, no value at all or very little value. And if you drop him, the harder part though is if you got him, let's say in the deep league. If you drop him, who are you gonna get? Like there's
No,
not much
actually,
there, but you just have to wait until maybe the trade deadline to see which players can you still get there.
the fantasy is timing really because like one trade in one of my league was Omer Yard 7 for Herb Jones, and when that deal pushed through was for up for voting. Some people vetoed that because they felt that Omer was too good, and
Yeah.
the manager who was getting Herb Jones said, I know what I'm doing. So why are you vetoing for my sake? Because I want Herb Jones.
Yeah.
And after just a week after, Bam came back and Omer totally was out of the
Yeah.
rotation. So
I
right,
mean,
I mean something like that. Something
no,
like
that's
that
not timing.
happens.
I think the manager there is a veteran manager. He knows this would not stick as
Yeah,
well. And again, it's really those types of deals. They're not even lopsided. You shouldn't be vetoing those deals.
yeah.
At that point, they're not lopsided. So you should not veto those deals. Because those are game changers. Like if you're the manager involved, instead of winning like your league, you could end up losing just because players felt differently about a trade. That's not even lopsided. That's the point. It's not even
Yes,
lopsided.
yes.
So really, that's why it's so hard to veto trades. You should really have to analyze it as well. Yeah. So the other side, for the Portland side, we still don't know what will happen there
Well,
because they haven't played,
when
right?
Winslow played the first game, Bledsoe has a heel something. He could
Oh yeah,
play,
yeah,
but
they
they
played
said
the last game. Yeah.
Bledsoe was held out because of the slight injury. They wanted to be safe, and then Keon Johnson did not play. I don't know if he's DNP or what. So looks like it's nothing
Yeah.
there to see in Portland.
All right. Some buy players. Just to wrap up this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Javonte Green, one of my favorite ads this week. Javonte Green is another utility guy. Can score, can rebound, can play defense, and he's not a rookie. So
Yeah,
I I, I just put premium on that because being older and more mature in terms of the game and the pace of the NBA, that helps a lot as well. So Javonte Green should not be there in your waiver at this point. Dwight Powell is getting more opportunities because of the injuries in Dallas, and he's been playing well. No Kleber, um,
no,
no
no Kleber, no
Kristaps.
Kristaps.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's a
so
temporary ad. I don't know. I think there's gonna be some trades also in Dallas, so he might lose value later this week. But for now, at least for the next few games, he will be okay. He will be a good ad.
yeah. Chuma Okiki, in case he was dropped, because he hasn't had, I think the last two games were as good, or
Mm-hmm.
the last game was not as good. He could have been dropped. He was dropped in an 18 team league of mine.
Really?
So yeah, 18
Yeah,
team.
pick
I'm
him
just
up. Pick
waiting.
him up.
Yep. I just didn't
Pick
want to
him.
use my waiver for him, but yeah, I'll see.
Here's the thing with Chuma. Terence Ross is another player who's almost 100% sure to be traded. Gary Harris possibly traded. These two goes. Chuma. People look at him as a big, but he's actually a small forward. He
Mhm.
actually played small forward in college, so he can play three. And when those players are gone, it's gonna be Chuma who gains more minutes. And like today, he didn't shoot well, but he had 3 steals and 2 blocks.
Yeah, that's
He
it.
he
That's what I want about Chuma.
Yeah, he does a lot of things. So if he was dropped, like in Jeremy's case, no brainer, pick him up.
Yeah.
Pick him up.
I'm about to. Blake Griffin, Claxton still out, right? And he's the only
now,
center left, I guess.
Yeah, now they're starting Blake Griffin and they're losing 8 straight. I don't know what's gonna happen in Brooklyn, but we don't care.
Brooklyn's about to implode.
I think Blake's an ad for now. Blake's an ad.
Yeah, they are about to implode. Trade deadline would also be another key date for Brooklyn to see where Harden lands or if Harden stays. Garrison Matthews, well, we've been recommending him as well. One of our stash players as well. Pre-trade deadline stash. Garrison Matthews with a lot of Eric Gordon again did not play today and has been in some rumors or been one of the players that is most likely going to be traded.
And I added him already. I added Garrison in one of our leagues with Jeremy, one of our high school leagues. I think it's worth it at this point.
Yeah. Is it the deep league or the non-deep league? The 14.
The non-dynasty. Yeah.
So that's a 14-team league. So just to get an idea.
14-team league, and he has a game on Wednesday. So it just makes sense to add him right now and then see where it goes.
Yeah.
Right.
And lastly, probably one of the hottest ads right now, Jaxson Hayes is played another great game today. I think did he start? No, he came off the bench, right?
He came off the bench. And we were talking about what will happen if Josh Hart returns. Well, Josh Hart returned and Jaxson Hayes still played well.
Just to put some things in context, Valanciunas was in foul trouble as well.
Yes, that's true.
So I know everyone's going to be excited adding him, but I guess my point in saying that is that, just keep your excitement, hold your excitement for a bit, and we need to see more of this with him coming off the bench before. I think you can add him.
Yeah, you should add him. Josh Hart is very popular in the trade rumors also. As I said, they want guards. So if they'll be able to, trade Josh Hart, Hayes might become a fixture, probably even a starter.
Yeah. I like Hayes more than Nick Claxton, actually.
Well, yeah, because Claxton can't seem to stay healthy. But if they're both healthy, actually, I like Claxton more. But yeah, Hayes is also okay.
Plus, I just feel like healthy. Hayes has better offensive upside than Claxton. I mean, has more offensive.
Hayes,
he can shoot, right?
Hayes is like Jarrett Allen. Hayes is like Jarrett Allen. He doesn't score. He doesn't take a lot of shots, just the sure ones, right? Yeah. So he knows his role.
Yeah. Those are our buy recommendations, and 3 days before the trade deadline, really exciting stuff. Hopefully more trades, because in the past few years, trade deadline has been a doozy. Hopefully this year there'll be lots more big names. That's going to be interesting to find out. Yeah, we've been hearing lots of big names already. It looks like players like Sabonis, Miles Turner, those guys, either one of those guys will be traded, and those are big names already because there's not much over the past few years with those types of names coming up. McCollum, those types of players. All right, we'll see you again tomorrow. Good luck, week 17. Save your moves, guys. Save your moves. That's the final reminder for you guys. In fact, saving moves, I'm really having hesitation to make any moves at this point of the week, right? Early part. I know we have like 4 moves, 5 moves, not even one. I just feel like, should I make a move now or wait for it later?
I'll make a move. You look at your roster. How many of those you think you can do without? And then that's how you keep, I think.
Yeah. All right. We'll see you again tomorrow, guys. Bye.